right, man. Did Detroit Pistons make a mistake passing up on Emoni Bates? And let's just go ahead and talk about that. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. He went in the second round. I believe they passed him up 3 times. Passed him up at 7, traded back up from 20. Well, just 2 times. They traded back up from 32nd to 25th pick. So, I don't think they made a mistake. Obviously it's too early to tell in summer league. After year 1, we could make some assumptions, but you won't know until 2 to 5 years down the line, 2 to 4. Sometimes it takes a lot of these guys some time to develop and get acclimated, and everybody just think about the basketball part of the NBA, but it's also a developmental part of manhood. I mean, we all go through, different things. Some of us got to work hard, long, or just work to get a little bit of something. I mean, we all know it's harder for men out here than it is for women. So we all got to, but when we earn it and we get it and we hustle every day to get it, then, through, small achievements and small increments, we learn how to maintain it. When you come in the NBA, you sign, and even if he a second round pick, that means, he get his money faster if he ball out. Even him being a second round pick, he's still gonna run across a few million. And he don't have to work up to get that million. So you just drop $1 million on a guy who don't know what it really meant to really earn it and get it. They giving him that money, hopefully that he build up and get it. And it's a lot of stuff that come with it for these young guys that y'all don't see. It's a lot of free time on the road. It's a lot of time to eat bull jive, mess with women, play around and trick your money off on the road. They be like, why do players be going broke? They want to have a woman in every city. They want to have different baggage. They buying clothes. You going to several cities, plenty of cities throughout there. That's why it's important to have veterans. You know what I'm saying? They buying cars, they impulsive spending, and that's usually synonymous with women. But I done heard stories about people doing it in the military. Just ordering stuff, not, just because they, they had some free time and they come home with nothing, no degree, no education, just absolutely nothing, no car, all that money gone. So it's just, it's nobody to really, tell them how to maintain it unless they got a veteran in the locker room. And then you add that on top of him being in Detroit, being in the Metro Detroit area, it just wasn't a good fit in my opinion. And you could take away the little gun charge that he caught or whatever like that. You could take that away. And we can't go off summer league. And they gave the MVP to Isaiah Mobley. I think whatever his name is, Evan Mobley brother or whatever. But Emoni balled out the whole summer league. And it looked like the pro game suited him a little bit better, and I'll get to that in a minute. But it just, to me, it wasn't a fit. It's just too much. And I was listening to Sauce Gardner. He did an interview with the Pivot podcast and them. And I was listening, to him. He said he didn't want to come to Detroit because all the distractions would have come from playing at home, and people would have been begging for money, begging for tickets, and it just would have been too much of a distraction. That's kind of why he didn't want to come to Detroit. And like I said before, that's a lot for Emoni Bates to handle. It didn't seem like he had the maturity. And with social media, it's tough to tell a young kid, don't go on social media, respond to these comments, and, do this, that, and the third. But I don't think he had the maturity, and nor would like 98% of young men or young people in general had a maturity at, 18, 19 years old to go play back home with all the demand that it is. Now, he ain't from the biggest city, from Yipsy and all that, but it's quite the demand to ask a young guy to put that burden on his shoulders. It's a lot. So y'all can say, well, we passed up on him. So many distractions would come playing in your home area and all that stuff. And LeBron was in the, part of that 2% that can do so. And he didn't have the maturity to be ready to skip his last year of school and go to Memphis. So even though I'm pretty sure he learned from that process, y'all really think he had the maturity to handle what was gonna come playing in Detroit, especially if they got the winning? That's a lot to ask of a young man, no matter how good he is. That's a lot to ask, and all the adversity that he went through, the hate he got from decommitting from Michigan State. And we thought his story was gonna go hard left like J. Rue Campbell, but shout out to him. He righted the ship. He worked out, and I think the pro game suited him a lot better than the college game. And I said that, the college game is almost like a different game, because you allow, the reason why a 15th seed or 10th seed could beat a 3 seed or a 1 seed is because you able to play, you able to handicap in college basketball and play a traditional zone. That's why you able to play a traditional zone. In the NBA, it didn't used to be a zone, a matchup zone. You still got to play a man. You can't play an area. And in college, with the longer shot clock, you got to play. You can play an area and not play a man. So that gives you an opportunity. And then if they ain't making no shots and shoot you out the zone, which I was thinking about this the other day. I said, this is the most non-shootingest generation I've seen in my life. I ain't never seen this many people come in the league and can't shoot. And excluding the big fellas. And I ain't, I ain't even worried about, I ain't talking about the power forward, the centers, because there really ain't no power forwards no more. I ain't never seen a generation of guards and wings who can't really shoot like this, bro. They don't have any efficiency from shooting. There's so many people coming into the league with broken jump shots, broken fundamentals, but, and it shows in college why a lot of those guys get upset in the tournament. It really shows. But I think the program suited him a lot better for his athleticism. It's more space to operate. It's high pace. You know what I'm saying? And they're not as militant in the pros. It's not as structured. In college, you really got to know how to play fundamentally sound basketball. You got to really know how to penetrate, kick, pass, and attack the zone, attack the presses. To me, college basketball is more structured. And it's just different. So, but yeah, nonetheless, but I think the program is more wide open for athletes to get out there and run, jump, and all that stuff, and with all that additional space, and allow him doing what he's doing. And now I think where he want to be. He really stepping up. Excuse me. He really stepping up. But I don't think it was an ideal situation for him to come to Detroit. It's just too much to ask somebody. I think he might even be too close to Detroit being in Cleveland. You probably want to see him get a little way more further than that. But at the end of the day, he seen that the stove was hot. And maybe that's all that he needed. But I don't just think from for a fit as far as playing in the city of Detroit, that was the best thing that never happened to him. Was him not coming here, man. Like, Cleveland, anywhere else far as hell away, he'd have been straight. And I hope that he excel in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? We rooting for him. Definitely was in the talks to be the number 1 pick, and they started nitpicking him, and he voiced his frustration on social media. But then again, also he got to work and worked on his game. So we'll see if he can contribute in Cleveland right away, and can he fit into the NBA and just keep working. When the success comes, it's another level of success to reach. So keep reaching. But I don't think they should have drafted him. I didn't like the fit as far as everything that come playing with your hometown. So check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, we'll drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or just Spotify and Anchor, sorry. And but from a basketball fit, it would have been a good fit, but from a hometown fit, I didn't like it. But peace.